Hey everyone, Roger Haskett here. It's Daily Diary, March 10th, 2020. It's Tuesday. And so let's talk about what's going on. So I've been thinking about doing a daily diary at the beginning and the end of the day because things change so much in the course of a day. So it's mostly the beginning of the day now for me. And on March 10th, yesterday I started off by saying it was a pretty dark day for the world. What we're seeing is that it continues to be dark days. We're not sure. It's possible that all the coronavirus, COVID-19 will pass by without it getting to the level that we're worried it might. But the truth is, in March 10th, it looks like it is. Italy yesterday closed lockdown, went into complete lockdown for the whole country. This is the first time I think that's happened. China and South Korea have taken steps similar. Singapore as well. The countries that seem to take early steps seem to be doing better at slowing the transmission. And that's really what the game plan is now. It's slowing transmission so that we don't overwhelm our resources and have many more people die than need to. So March 10th, what we're seeing is that stock markets are getting brutalized. People, more and more in the Western world, like I'm a product of the Western world. I live in Vancouver, Canada. So here in the Western world, I think we're waking up. Like in the last couple of weeks, we're sort of waking up to what's coming our way. While it was in China, it was a far away and something that was on the edge of our awareness in a way. And many of us were aware, and many others weren't. I was in both camps, sometimes aware, sometimes not, as in most people. But what's happening is that it's really starting to swing towards the whole world now. And this is why the word pandemic is starting to be talked about much more seriously now. And it's a trouble because we have governments who seem to be, some governments who are trying to, it seems, help. South Korea is a great example of a country, a government that seems to be really doing things that it should be, including taking financial pressure and burden off the people who are trying to decide what to do on a daily basis, which I totally understand. That would be a huge relief off my shoulders, and I believe almost anyone I interact with. So let's talk about resilience, and let's talk about the me you want to be. There's a couple ways of thinking about it right now. So let's take a step back, before we get into that. So I'm a little excited today, even though it's a challenging day. I'm excited because I think that today's the day, and if not today, then tomorrow will be the day that we launch this new channel. And these daily diaries will go out and what we will be leading towards is creating more resilience, building resilience now, becoming the me that you want to be. Oh, I'm getting better at that. And how these things fit together, because I believe they fit together. If you are working on the me that you want to be, you are actually working on resilience skills, because the only way you become the me that you want to be is to learn how to force that into the world, to learn how when the world pushes you down and kicks you down and says, no, we don't care about what you want, just do what everyone else is doing. The me you want to be, forget it. Be the me that everyone else is. That's what that's what herds, we're a herd species, that's what herds do. They go, come on, your uniqueness, moderate it so that you become part of the herd. So when you work on the me you want to be, you are working on resilience, you're working on skills that help you get up when you've been kicked down. So the way you think about stress determines its impact on you. Holy cow, that is a valuable way for us to be thinking moving forward into this massively stressful time. And let me just take a moment to do that right now. Let's just talk about that. The way you think about stress determines its impact. What they found, they've done all sorts of studies now where they're starting to look at how we think about something affects the way it affects us. The way we think about it affects the way it affects us, right? Like all of these affects are happening. And all these studies are coming out that show that, for example, in health, if you think that the stress you're feeling in your life is there even partially to help you rise up to being a bigger, better version of yourself. That this stress is there to help you rise up into the me you want to be, to help you rise up into resilience. If you start thinking that stress is there to help you, either to give you a sign or to give you energy or to give you power to deal with these issues, if you think that stress is there to do that for you, then guess what? It actually is there to do that for you. And if you think the opposite, if you think, stress is killing me, like, oh my goodness, this stress in this world, the coronavirus, all this finances, all these things, my family, all these things are stressing, they're building up and they're killing me. If you think that, guess what? You're most likely right. Henry Ford had a really great quote from 100 years ago that says, if you think you can do a thing, or you think you can't, you're right. Meaning if you think you can, you're right, and if you think you can't, you're right. Meaning that we have a huge amount of power in our brain to affect what's happening to us. So what I would encourage everyone in this time right now is to be thinking about stress as a way of building up your power and your resources. So what I think when I'm sitting at my chair right there, and I'm staring at my computer screen right there, and I'm thinking, and I'm in my head going, oh no, I'm stressed for whatever. I've got to go do an audition. I've got to get up on stage and talk in front of a bunch of people. I got to talk to a group I've never talked to before. I've got to talk to my kid about something really stressful in his life. I got to talk to my spouse about something really stressful in our life. Wherever that stress happens to lie in your life, if you think this stress is here, like I'm sitting there and I'm thinking this stress right now that feels like it's smothering me is actually here to wake me up. It's here to actually tell me where I should be putting my focus. It's here to actually give me power to focus on the things that matter right now in my lives, like right now. If you think that way about stress, stress is actually there to help you. It starts to become a friend of yours. It's not always a friend. Too much stress is not good. Like too much of a party is not good. One of my favorite quotes right now is everything in moderation, including moderation. I think that's from Oscar Wilde. Everything in moderation, including moderation. So sometimes, you got to stop the partying. Sometimes you got to stop the bad. You got to stop the good. Sometimes you got to stop the bad. And stress is one of the ways we have of checking in to our immediate present to find out what we should be working on, what we should be thinking about, what we should be taking proactive action on. Stress is that early warning system. It's the generator to help you get energy to face these massively big and terrifying issues that crowd our lives. All right, so we're talking about build resilience now. And one of the ways you build resilience now is to think about stress differently. I believe that if you change your relationship to stress, you change your relationship to discomfort, you change the way you move through this world, and you turbocharge your transformation in whichever way you want. I was just about to touch my face. I'm not supposed to touch my face. The me you want to be. Oh, way over there. The me you want to be. How you reach for the me you want to be. How you create the energy and the power to reach for it is the same way you create energy and power to reach for resilience. All right? We're talking about how to build resilience now in your life. I'm Roger Haskett. It's March 10th, 2020. We are surrounded by issues that are demanding our attention and stress. That stress is oozing into our life from all sorts of directions. Wouldn't it be better for you, for us, to have a different relationship to stress right now? I think it would. I'm working on that. The reason I'm talking about it right now is because I'm working on it in my life. So I hear these things and I start to act as if they're true as well, right? I speak to you so that I can speak to me. I speak to me so that I can speak to you. Right? That's what we're doing here. I'll talk to you later.